Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. Again, to the essential workers, to everyone that's back in the workplace, welcome back to the new world that's around us, and thank you for doing the social distancing, wearing your mask, cleaning your hands, coughing into your arm, and to the family that lost someone the other day. Our prayers and condolences goes to your family and to the 121 people that this has happened to. But as of today, we have 1,880 positive cases, 158 people under mandatory quarantine. Under the state tracking system, there's no longer precautionary quarantine designation, so you won't hear that anymore. All quarantines are tracked together. We have a total of 10 positive cases today. That's probably the most we've had in a couple weeks. So that number significantly jumped up. So that's something we have to watch and monitor and find out what's going on there. There are 31 active cases left out of all them numbers in Albany County, which is good news too. And 1,870 positive cases, and out of that, 150 people under mandatory quarantine and no one under precautionary quarantine, like I said, which is good. 5,670 people have completed quarantine. 1,849 tested positive for the virus and have recovered, with a recovery rate of 4 people since yesterday. There are only now 4 people in the hospital, which is great, with the hospitalization rate with the lowest we had at 0.21%. Of those have tested positive yesterday, the rate was 0.26, which is also, it's good news. We're going in the right direction. Unfortunately, there's still only one person currently in the ICU. That number stays the same. Over the last 5 days, the average is 4.8 new positive cases each day, and that will change a little bit because of the 10, and hopefully this is something different that it spiked up so much, but we will be monitoring that. Again, I'm urging people to get tested. We have these mobile testing sites out there. It's getting to the point, I know I say this and I keep, it's like a bluff, I'm going to close it down. We are going to start to close them down because we're not getting people in these communities to come out for free testing. Because we said if you don't have insurance, we're paying for it. It costs you nothing. Times Union Center had a good day though. We had 27 people come through, which is good. So we're going to keep that going for a little while, and that's for workers coming back into downtown. It's for anybody, but we set it up for workers that are coming back to the workforce to give them an opportunity to get tested. The number, as always, is 518-465-4771. And UAlbany, as always, for essential workers, and for the drive-through, 188-364-3065. Rite Aid in Colony. They're making the decision too how much longer they're going to keep that going because their numbers have pretty much dropped off. And our good partner, Priority One in Gilliland, as always, you can get the antibody testing done. The number is 518-867-8040. So for those businesses who have reopened or are getting ready to reopen in Phase 4, we're almost there, right? We're almost to July 1st. I know everyone's ready. Unfortunately, we did take a step back when we talked about the malls and everyone else in the gyms, but again, I pushed it up, and we can't get guidance yet. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen by July 1st, but right now it's a no. So I want to remind everyone that we have hand sanitizer at the OC under the Sheriff Apple and all the stuff he's putting out up there, and the shields that was delivered. And I think I'll let him talk about that, but the antibody testing kits and forget now, temperature gauges. Thermometers, thank you. You could help me out a little bit quicker there. Thanks.
Leave you hanging for a little bit.
You did leave me hanging for a little bit. But again, that will be available for businesses, so he can talk about that. So again, you can always pick up the hand sanitizer at the Times Union Center. Here's the number to call. So I know this was a little confusing. 518-487-2023, and you can pick up between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. That's on Market Street. You go behind the arena, and you can get it there. So please keep that in mind. I just want to talk to you about the governor's announcement: a 14-day self-quarantine for everyone coming to New York from New Jersey, Connecticut, and from the states with high infection rates, which the 3 governors got together. These are things I have to say to the travelers that are out there that they have to look at. We're including, which was including in these states was Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, and Washington. And the bottom line is this: if the enforcement can go from 2,000 to the first violation up to 10, and it can cause harm. So one of the things I want to remind everybody that, is it enforceable? It's going to be tough, but I know there's a lot of people that were planning on vacations going to these states. I know there's people that live down there during the winter months that stayed a little bit longer that are coming back. It's on you, and we're asking you to be good New Yorkers, do the right thing, self-quarantine, because again, we've done a great job controlling our numbers, and we need your help to continue to do that. So be good residents, do the right thing, self-quarantine, please. No one wants to go and fine you and give you a fine and do that to you. So, and the reason why it's so important, some of the states that are causing businesses to shut down again, and several are causing to pause again, like Utah, Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. So you're seeing more of that going in areas that didn't do the phase-in, didn't do this different steps. You're seeing these ones now pulling back, saying, who are out on the news, hey, we're fine, this isn't going to touch us. Now they're getting their wave, which we don't want that to happen to anyone. But again, if you're coming from these places, we want to make sure we're not reinfecting people and bring it there, because I've said this time and time again, it's there. So, this virus isn't the only thing causing us concern, and that's, Sheriff Apple, thank you for joining me here today. District Attorney Soros was going to join us today, but congratulations to him and his family. His daughter's graduating from high school today, so he's where he needs to be right now. But the sheriff and him, and he can get into that, had conversations. And we talked about our resources here in the county, but there's been a lot of unrest in the capital region over the last month, and we have been doing more and more just talking about how things can change and what we can do to make things better. Time for talking is done. Time for action is here. And we need to look at all of our resources and what we can do to stop this violence from escalating. I grew up in South End. And, I was talking to a lot of my friends, and I still have friends and family that live in the South End. And, you weren't afraid. You used to walk from the Palace Theater on Clinton Avenue, walk through Clinton Avenue, and you go back over to Delaware Second, and you never worried about anything, That's not the case now. And, when I unfortunately watched the video, and I would show it to you, but it's very disturbing. When I watched the video from our cameras down on our headquarters down for our mental health and BOE, it's disturbing what you watch. And, not that I haven't seen this, I've seen it in war, but to see it on your own streets, to watch someone get executed like this gentleman did in broad daylight at 1:30 in the afternoon, is disturbing, and it really affected a lot of our workers there that have never seen stuff like this. I know the sheriff can elaborate more on this stuff, but it's hard to deal with. And when you hear about an 8-year-old kid playing Xbox and he gets shot in the shoulder sitting in his room, and a 10-year-old gets shot by her father showing the son how to use a handgun, and I could go on and on with the stories. If it's not affecting you, I don't know what will. And we need to address the issue. We need to come together as all elected officials, and we need to do this together. And the time for talking is done, and it's time for action. But it has to stop. And part of my equity agenda that I've been working on here for the last eight and a half years, we've been trying to fast track and implement a variety of things, and invest in programs, reinvent what needs to be done, because time is of the essence right now with everything going on. And when I'm an Albany guy, and I'm proud of that. And I remember hanging out in Clinton Avenue and on Judson Street, the 3S restaurant that used to be their pizza place, had the best pizza. Running around Clinton Avenue, and it's tough. And when you see Albany ranked as the 8th most dangerous city in upstate New York, based on the 2017 FBI violent crime and priority crime data, and this summer's just getting started, we need to work together. We need to work together. And July is typically the most violent month that we have here in the city. So it's scary with everything going on and where we're headed. And I was excited 16 weeks ago, because we're starting our 16th week today. 106 days into this, and I got to be honest, I was looking forward to getting to July 1st, dealing with my budget, but taking some time off for my staff and me, because we've been working 7 days a week around the clock. So to me, I kept saying, the light's at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to get there. And you know what? unfortunately, we need to address this issue, and I couldn't ask for a better partner with Sheriff Apple for the last 8.5 years and working with the district attorney. So we need to do something, and we need to make June 2020 has claimed the title this year for being the most violent, and we have to address that. And there's ways we can. One of the programs we started in a partnership with a variety of people was LEAD, to make sure that we gave diversions for other programs. An example of our Law Enforcement Assistant Diversion Program that was launched in 2016 was to ensure those who are dealing with mental health issues, addiction, poverty, aren't simply locked away and instead connected with services they need to improve their lives. It's a partnership in the county, the Center for Law and Justice, the Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, and the City of Albany. We've taken that back. We've worked with Chief Cox that runs LEAD. He asked us to take more of a active role going forward on that, and we applied for a $900,000 grant, and we're hoping to get that $900,000 grant, but I'm also going to put money behind LEAD. So we need to get out in the community. We're looking for a director of community engagement coordinator that will head up LEAD for us here in the area. So if anyone's out there interested, please, by all means, step up. I've said this before. We are currently interviewing the candidates for the program director position. Last year, I brought together the Zero Youth Detention Task Force. It was chaired by Alice Green, and to begin looking at ways we can connect kids and youth with programs and services that they need to provide them before they're entering the Justice Juvenile Center, because it's proven if you stop a kid from getting into trouble or stop a kid from going into the court system, that kid has a better opportunity to make it in life. So that's why we started this program. Unfortunately, some things did get paused. You know, these programs like this, people couldn't meet, and we're trying to figure out how we can meet to address issues going forward. We can address public health, behavioral health, and certain illegal issues. We can ensure young people have the opportunity to succeed and never have to resort to joining a gang. Yes, we do have a gang problem here in the city. It was there when I was a kid, and it's there today, and we need to give kids a better opportunity to move forward. And the only way we're going to do that is by identifying the issue and coming up with solutions and partnerships, working with the Sheriff's Department, District Attorneys, the Mayor's Office, the Common Council, the County Legislature, the Black Caucus, all of us coming together, putting our differences aside, and doing what's right for the people to go forward. So some of the things that we have started over time before was our mobile crisis team will now be dispatched on these calls through the Sheriff's Department for people that are hitting PTSD, trauma, seeing things they haven't seen in them neighborhoods, or just trying to grasp what the reality of what their world is looking like through this COVID-19, and now to put all these shootings on top of it and afraid to go outside. So the mental health line that I have established for 8 days a week now goes from 8 a.m. to 5, will be also established for anyone in these communities to call to get the help and assistance that you need to get you through this. We are there for you. We need to stop the gun violence and take back our neighborhoods. Not just say it, not just talk about it. We need tangible results. And we're only going to get them results by looking and thinking and coming together as a community and thinking outside the box. And Albany County, I will say this, will spend the money needed to hire ambassadors in our neighborhoods to help clean up, beautify, restore our communities. Albany County is working with our local colleges right now and universities and educational opportunities for our distressed communities to offer tutoring in math, reading, writing, and make it available for those who truly need it, especially now that schools have been closed down. And yes, we will work around the guidelines because I feel like the expert now because I've heard them over and over. And we'll get around that to get these kids that have not had the opportunity to be in school, that are already behind, an opportunity to get tutored and get the help they need so they'll be successful in the fall. We've been working with stakeholders already, like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, and local leaders, but we need to expand our strategic partnership, and we need to buy in. We need the buy-in from the community. We need the buy-in. I don't want to be another white politician that goes into your neighborhood and tells you what you need. I need you to tell us and work with the sheriff and the DA. Tell us what works in your community or what you need. That's what I'm putting out to the people in the community, because we need to take back our streets. We need to make it safe when kids want to walk down the street, or you want to just drive down the street, or you want to go to the corner store to get something to drink or a bag of chips and not worried about being shot, mugged, or being intimidated walking down the street. That's not the city I grew up in. It's not the county that we represent. So that means residents who call my office and leave their contact information so your voice will be heard and we can get you involved. So please call my office, 518-447-7040. Call, email, whatever you want to do, reach out to us. We're willing to sit down. We've already had other successful programs for our Department of Probation, Dress for Success, helping probationaries prepare for job interviews, getting them off probation early. We did a partnership with DMV in 2017 to become the first state in New York, become the first county in New York State approved to provide DMV pre-license courses to our probationaries. And why was that important? Because 20% of our probationary kids don't even have IDs. Can't even identify who they are and can't get IDs to get a job or get a permit to move forward. It was a struggle that Sheriff Apple and I have talked about before when they talked about giving illegals identification. We couldn't get people that we knew identification that were residents. And we said, address that issue. We're good with everything else, but address that issue so we can help these people. So the program was recognized in 2018 as an achievement award from the National Association of Counties. We have so many other programs that we offer, and I guess we have to get it out there to the community better and do a better job as a conduit with our Common Council in the City of Albany and our legislators. But Project Growth, our Summer Youth Employment Program, Parks and Recreation Department programming, Summer Program at Lawson Lake Initiative Craig Apple and I took in 2012 when the Boys and Girls Club could no longer run Lawson's Lake, and we took it in 2013 with the district attorney then, in a partnership to turn that lake around and give kids an opportunity. And we did that without spending tax dollars money, by reinventing it and doing a summer youth program for the Boys and Girls Club and inner city kids to get off the street. And we started off with 4 weeks, then we went to 5, and we pretty much go all summer now. That kids can go there for free, learn how to fish, learn how to read a compass, learn how to walk the trails, have extra activities going on for them. And this is the stuff we need to continue to do to work. Sheriff Apple's been one of my biggest strategic partnerships over the last 8.5 years getting things done. And yes, we fight. Yes, we don't get along at times. Yes, we like to go at it every now and then. But at the end of the day, and it's like the district attorney, it's about the people we represent, and it's about changing things. And if you take anything away from being an elective office, you have an opportunity to sit back, collect a check, or you have an opportunity to do something different in the community to give them hope, to give them the foundation to move forward in life. And I can't do that without them. I can't do it without the legislature, the Black Caucus, the Common Council in the City of Albany. We can't do that without working together. I've talked to Dennis Feeney. I've talked to Bill Clay, the leader of the Black Caucus, and let him know what we're doing. And I'm not saying what we're going to say and what the sheriff's going to say is everything that's going to come out. We need buy-in. We need people to come to us and tell us what's worked, what doesn't work. And that's only going to work with us doing this together. So I will say this before I hand it over to the sheriff. I am willing to put up millions of dollars, millions, into this community and back it up, not just with talk, not with just say, but with real money. Now, I can assure you, I have a $35 million debt. It's probably going to be 40. I can assure you when the governor's done with us in October, it's going to be worse. But I've said this in the beginning of this whole COVID-19 epidemic, that when people ask me about the financial impact, I didn't care, because the residents' safety and health are my first and foremost responsibility as county executive. The same thing in this community. It's a community that's been underserved for generations, and we can talk about it and say, why has it been underserved? Why does Albany Housing only put housing in less desirable parts of the city of Albany, where the bomb trains were, and we had to fight that? Or they put the new housing, which is awesome, in a community that has underlying issues. Why can't Albany Housing expand outside the city of Albany? Why can't they go in other parts of the community to give people an opportunity so when they walk out their door, they're not seeing gangs and violence? And doesn't happen all over the downtown area, because I want to tell you, growing up down here, there's some great people. I learned a lot from my neighbors down here. Unfortunately, I learned how to play pool at the Port Tavern, but I learned a lot from the people here. And there's great people that stay and fight in these communities. And as the media, I'll say this to you as a challenge: stop focusing on the negative. Why do people stay? Let's focus on why people still live in downtown Albany when they could move elsewhere, because they love downtown Albany. They love areas. And I'm not just saying that from being a person that lived there. But the only way we're going to change this is working together. So I will be putting a package together, working with the DA's office and the sheriff and the Black Caucus and Bill Clay and Dennis Feeney and Wanda Willingham and everyone else. Mert Simpson's here from the legislature. I will be working, and Chief's here from the Common Council, with everyone that wants to roll up their sleeves and work. And yes, we will be working with the mayor. I will be working hand in hand. It is her city, and we will come up with solutions together, working in a partnership. But it's time now. Sheriff Apple.
Thanks, Dan. So just to jump back quick regarding COVID-19, we are still pushing out some supplies. The state has slowed their pushes to the municipalities quite a bit since things have opened up on the market now, so businesses and families are able to purchase masks, purchase sanitizer, things of that, Lysol wipes, whatever the case may be. We do have another push coming of cotton masks that we will be setting up some distribution points again and continuing to hand out sanitizer. It's nice to go into a restaurant or whatever and see the big jugs at the doors, so everybody's taking advantage of that. So if there are small businesses, actually, Legislator Cunningham from Bethlehem called me this morning looking for some supplies. We were able to get down right away. So we do have some more coming in. So if you have a small business and you're in need, please reach out. And as the county executive said, there's more sanitizer down at the Times Union Center as well. Regarding the gun violence, I'm sure you've got a lot of questions. I can tell you what I have spoken with the mayor. I have had several conversations with Chief Hawkins, as well as the district attorney. We've committed, yesterday we had 14 people per shift in the city. Today I believe we have 12 per shift in the city, and we're going to maintain that level indefinitely. And let me be very clear that we're not in Albany because Albany PD is incapable of solving this issue. We're in Albany to assist the Albany Police Department. They are a very capable, a very professional police department, and we know they're short. So we're here to assist them. City residents pay county taxes as well, so we're here. And we're not going anywhere until they say they're all set, and I have no idea when that will be. But we've committed to them, basically 24 officers a day. And I know they've been very busy. I know they've had a busy morning again. But we will tackle this problem, and we will do it with the community, and I know we will solve this issue. This is a beautiful city. This is the capital of New York State. But what's a little bit disheartening is if you drive a couple tenths of a mile below us to see the lack of businesses, to see, you try to rebuild a community by driving the economy up. And it's very hard to do that when you have buildings all boarded up. McDonald's is out. I think the two businesses that are left is a liquor store and a Family Dollar. Danny mentions the Port Tavern, that's all boarded up. Everything down that whole side is boarded up. And I think in order for people to have respect and pride in their neighborhood, it needs to be cleaned up. And I'm going to commit whatever I need to, and working with Danny and the city and the county to clean it up. I like cigars. I like to drive around at night and I smoke and I check out communities. The other night I went down to the Corning Preserve, and you have the two visitors buildings there. I would ask one of you to leave here and take a ride down there. Tell me what you see. It's not a very pretty sight. So those are the things I think we need to clean up. It's very hard to, you got to start literally from the ground up and clean the place up and have people, restore some pride in our neighborhoods, make them safe, make them clean. And I think people will come back and businesses will open. I mean, I don't know, it's a vision that I'd like to see, and I think we can do it. I mean, I'd like to see the communities that when people come in for permits, building permits, things of that nature, make a commitment to, maybe, I know you have to replace the sidewalks in many times, but maybe also we could have a pot of money where businesses, if we want to come in, we want this money to go towards cleaning that up. Maybe have more people out cleaning the streets, whatever the case may be. I know every municipality is really hurting right now. Money's tight. COVID wiped out budgets. I know the county's position. I know our position. But I think, it's time that we've got to do all we can do and quit talking about it and really roll up our sleeves and get dirty. So that's really all I have to say. But we will get a hold of this. We've got great partnerships out there. Yesterday we had a call with 25 different law enforcement agencies, from docs to parole to probation. I know some people were blaming county probation. You can't blame county probation for this. There's bad people out there, and bad people are going to do bad things, and that's the reality of it. Yes, I'd like to see probation and parole engage a little more. I'd like to see parole get the 50 out of my jail that I have and been holding for free. But I think the bottom line is that we just need to get a grip on the crime. We've got to go back to talking to our youth, keeping our youth active. Yesterday I had a huge Zoom meeting with AAU. Danny and I started AAU years ago. We've paid for over 4,000 to 5,000 kids. It's middle of 4,000 something to sign up for AAU. We paid that with asset forfeiture money that we've taken from drug dealers. We paid that for those kids to come in, and those kids get insured by that money. Their registrations get paid, and we buy whatever equipment they need to keep these kids off the streets, to keep them playing, to keep them involved in lacrosse, box lacrosse, hockey, volleyball, karate. Our karate program is huge. And karate is also great at building discipline in our youth. I have had parents call and say, my gosh, I don't know what you did to him, but now he's reading and he's studying and he's doing good in school because he's got something that he's a part of. And that's what they need. And you don't need a part of a gang. You need a part of a team, a baseball team, an athletic team, a chess team, whatever. Be part of something good.